Hey folks, it's Bobby Kid. Welcome to BKtv. I'm just going for a drive. I'm going to catch up with an old friend. I'm not sure if you guys recall, but on my bio on MySpace I mentioned the studio in Wollongong where it all happened from me and where it started. Oh, got to turn. Just stay there. Turn left. Sorry. We're in a suburb called Ferry Meadow, here in New South Wales. Anyway, it's a studio called Main Street Studio. It's where it kind of began for me. It's where I did work experience, and the owner, who was Rob, he's actually sold it now, so I'm going to catch up with him, and yeah, so it's been a while, so I'll show you where it all began and go for a little drive and a bit of a tour from where I grew up as well. It's the school that I went to, so this is Main Street Studio. The location has changed. It's in Ferry Meadow now. It used to be in Cornwall, backyard of Rob's place, and that's Rob, by the way. So he's the gentleman that kind of started it for me and gave me the bug of studios many years ago. So I've known Rob for quite a few years. I did work experience, and for those of you who don't know what work experience is it the end of the year? I think towards the end of the year.
Usually at the end of year 10 or year 12.
Yeah.
Usually have both.
Yeah, it's 2 weeks. I think it's 2 weeks. You get to choose where you want to go for your career, and I chose Main Street Studio, being interested in music, so I thought, you know, I'll suss it out. And Rob was brilliant. Showed me, I guess, the basics of the recording studio, what was involved, and back then they were using the reels. It was reels to reels. 4, 5, 6.
We had a very basic set. It was a 16 track. It was a Fostex. Yes. G16.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that. I still got the photos, but yeah, and I guess there was bands there, and Rob showed me the setup with Mike in the drums and so on, and the mixing, and he was kind enough to, I think after the 2 weeks, you're kind enough to let me use the facility and kind of learn and grow. Because I remember I had that sort of that band and that stuff that I was experimenting with. So another thing I haven't mentioned to anyone that you hear, I'm gonna put you on the spot. So it was Rob. I remember the early years. I think it was 2005 before the DNA stuff. All the demos I used to do all these demos at home. So after the stuff with Rob, I bought my own little setup at home, basic stuff, and recorded demos. And I'd always go over to Rob, call him, and say, "Look, I've got these new songs. Can I play them to you? Can I show them?" And always had the time for me, which I'm very grateful. And I remember it was Pat. It's when I first met Pat. Back in Cornwall, and every demo that I played, I think I'll get this correct, this is what was said back then: great music, great musicianship, your vocals went nyeh, and I remember that because I thought, really? And it's like, I was devastated. And it's like, but it's funny because that sort of advice I took on board every time I'd go to you, whereas I know so many people who would have gone once, cop that, well, not cop it, but you guys said it in a nice constructive way, and probably never come back.
Yeah, I suppose it's always, there's that fine line of encouragement and also being honest, and it's kind of like, you've got to be very careful because people do grow and people do obviously get better at what they do, and so therefore, you know, when they first start out, their product may not necessarily be the best in the world, but you can see some sort of little potential happening there. And so therefore you try and say to the people, well, yeah, this is great, but this is where you really need to improve. Yeah. And if they take that advice on board and they want to improve and they get better, well then obviously it's going to further their careers. And that's how I've always taken that attitude.
Yeah, that was exactly what happened, and it's like, and so I remember keep coming back every time, and even to the EP, call you up, got this EP, you know, rather than just send it to you, you know, like I always come in for a chat. So that was always good for me, so I always appreciated that, and Pat was the same too, so he always gave me the time. So there you go, guys, that's Rob. So he's the man, he was the man responsible for me starting sort of the whole, you know, recording process and studios here in Wollongong. Call it Wollongong, everyone knows it as Wollongong. So hope you enjoyed our little chat, and I guess I'll see you guys on the road. Bye for now.
See you later.
Hawkham is known for its steelworks and the best beach, so I'm not being biased there, but we are one of the best beaches. Now I'm on a street called Wentworth Street, so I've got to watch what I'm driving to. This used to be a happening place, but unfortunately it's turned into a bit of a ghost town. Oh, by the way, this is Aussie from Australian Tennis in Melbourne. Anyway, so if we turn to see here this street, Wentworth Street, turn the camera just so they can see. If you can see, this is kind of, it's raining too, by the way, so this is pretty much a ghost town. This is the main street in Port Kembla, with pubs. Yeah, used to have everything, but now, as you can see, it's kind of sad to drive through here, seeing it like this, but I will show you where I grew up, on a street called, or a road called Military Road. Just give me a sec. Anyway, don't want to run anyone over. Not today, anyway. Okay. If you can see, can you turn the camera, the stack? There's this monster stack. This is this huge thing. It's shut down now, and you'll see, keep the camera, over to our left is the primary school. It's where I went to school. This is closed now, so unfortunately it's just an old abandoned building, but just over here to our left, as you can see, it's all been graffitied and whatnot. This is where I went to school in terms of primary school. So yeah, this is where I grew up, on this street, on this road. So fond memories, good times. And now I'll show you where I went to high school. And again, that hasn't closed down, but it's no longer a high school. It's like a seniors Illawarra College, for all kinds of students, sort of mixed age groups as well. So, but over here is where I used to play soccer, on this field over here. As you can see, they're playing soccer here. That used to be me, just over there. But over here, now this place called Hill 60, and this is Illawarra Senior College. This is my high school. So this is kind of where it all sort of started for me musically. And over here on our left is the hall. So where I did my first gig, I guess, acoustic show with a friend of mine back when we were 15 or 16, year 9 or year 10. So that there is where it all happened, or my first gig as such. And I'll see if we can see the music room from here. At the back here is where the music room was. Now, I'm not sure if you can see through there, but there's a, right through there, if we were to zoom in, go back, zoom in, over to the right, that there, if you can see that, that's the music room. So I used to spend a lot of hours away from classes where I should have been attending, but I was there. So that was the music room. So that's kind of where it all happened, and you know, and stuff like that. And then yeah, so that's Port Kembla High School, or was Port Kembla High School. We've got some great beaches here in Wollongong, in Sydney in general, but Port Kembla has got the best beach. Spoken like a true Port boy. Alright, here we go. Oops, sorry. It's raining too. Typical. Hi Aussie. Whee! Alright. So over on our left, you can see is our beach. Okay. Oh, and by the way, happy Easter to everyone. It's Saturday the 3rd of April. Had a big night last night, if you saw my Facebook. Bit of a headache. Self-inflicted, I know. Okay, here we go. Alrighty, circle up there. Obviously there's no one here, but this, my friends, oh, let me clear this up. This is Port Beach. It's a bit choppy at the moment, but this, used to come here every summer. Loved it. And even during school as well, we used to, what we call WAG, used to get away from classes and hide and come down here and hang out. Used to have parties here as well. So, it's good. Loved it. Alrighty. Well, that's about it for now.